Hey guys, I'm Dat Programmer and I'm here in Eclipse again, where we'll be continuing our Learn Java series. So what we need to do is that we've got our stuff here. So I'm just going to change around what's in our speech marks. I'm going to change the first one, so this is message number space, and that's it. Okay, and then also in here I'm just going to put it to the same thing. Okay, so now up here, before string message, but inside the static void main, we're going to do int number 1. It's actually just int number. So creating a new variable, and int means an integer, so it's a number, but it can't be a decimal. And it can go from, I think, negative 2.14 billion to positive 2.14 billion. So it's a very big number. Now if you want a bigger number, you're going to want a long, and a long is insane. But we'll talk about that later. So I'm just going to set the numbers equal to 1 for now. So then at the end of string message, we're going to do plus number. So this adds the number variable onto the end of the text. I'm going to do the same over here when we redefine our message, but I'm also going to change the number as well to 2. Okay, so let's run this, and down here we can see it says this is message number 1 and this is message number 2. So it says our number as well as the text. So yeah, that's numbers. Let's do booleans. So boolean is a very strange concept. Once you learn it, it's really easy and it's quite hard to explain. Basically, it's just a boolean can either equal two things. It can either equal true or false. So it's just logic. It's quite hard to explain if that didn't make sense. So I'm just going to call it logic. It's going to be equal to true right now. Okay. So at the after number in our message, I'm just going to put it and equals. This is message number. So right now it will say this is message number 1 and equals logic. Okay. So if we run it now, it will say this is message number 1 and equals true. So yeah, equals true. Now you can do many different things with this. You can say you wanted to make I'm trying to think. Say you wanted say a character to move, you'd get a number, and every time, say he pressed the forwards key, you would increment that number to make it bigger. And say when he pressed the space bar he jumped, and you can have a boolean called on ground. So if he's not on the ground, then it's false, and if it is, it's true. So yeah, there are many practical uses for this. Just gonna put you in there and equals logic. Okay. So if we run you, it says. Well, actually, I'm going to redefine the logic. So logic equals false. Now run it, and it says this is message number 1 and equals true. This is message number 2 and equals false. So yeah. Now the next one we're going to do is we're going to do decimal numbers. I'm going to create one called float pi. Yeah, float pi, and it's going to be equal to 3.14f. Now the interesting thing about floats is that floats are not the default format for decimals. Now you may be wondering then, why would you use them? Now floats, well, they're mainly used because they have you got a double and a float, and a double is a much larger decimal. It can go up to higher values, but a floating point number, as you can probably guess from the from the name, it has a floating decimal point, so you can do more things with it, if that makes sense. So yeah, okay, so float pi. Okay, so now at the end I'm just gonna print out pi. Print ln pi. So that should print out, this is message number 1 and equals true, this is message number 2 and equals false, and then 3.14. So yeah, there we go. What else should I explain in this video? Yeah, we're going to do characters, so individual letters. So up here I'm going to create a new char, or character, but you have to do char, and it's going to be letter, and it's going to be equal to quote marks G. Now, when you have quote marks, it basically just means that it's a character. You can't put, for example, text in a quote marks. Quote marks are only for individual stuff, so if I do that, it will come up with an error because you need speech marks to do multiple stuff. So you can only have one letter instead of quote marks, but in speech marks you can have as many as you like. So again, at the end, I'm just going to print out the letter. So it now says G at the end. So yeah, that is actually it for this episode. And we'll see you guys next time. We'll be covering more variable types and things that you can do with them, including constants that can't change. So yeah, see you guys next time. Goodbye.